Stand by for Oakwood! Stand by to fill up on fun! Oakwood, miles of rides, tons of fun. Loads of big stuff, tons of kids stuff. So find the M4, follow the signs, say nuts to the ironing, and fill up on fun! Oakwood! You know you want it.
Hello again and welcome back to another James Smiles video. So listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you here. Those views that I get nowadays, they are freaking me out, and so that's why it's taken me so long to upload another video. I also was thinking about uploading this video about 2 weeks ago, which is probably when it was most topical, but I am a little soy boy and I just could not do it, okay? Right. In order to get through this, I'm going to need to crack open a beverage. So please, if you're at home and you're at the legal drinking age, then join me on this. Also, I hope you like my setup. I've got terrible lighting and I can't open a beer. So yes, you probably tell by the thumbnail and the title of this video. This is a video about Oakwood theme park, which, you know what, potentially I'm releasing this a little bit late now. I feel like the topic is kind of getting boring, but I do have something unique to share with you, and that is Megafobia is actually for sale. But before we get to that, I just want to go through some of the park's history. I've never actually been myself to Megafobia. I've never actually been myself to Oakwood theme park, but I decided to try and do a little bit of research so I can sound like an informative YouTuber, like Louis Poo, because I don't want to seem like somebody who has no idea what they're talking about. This is my passion, okay? So if I can't talk about theme parks, then there's basically no point in me existing. Wait a second, that was a little bit too deep. What I mean to say is, if I can't talk about theme parks, then I might as well give up YouTube. So, Oakwood theme park. Once the pride of Welsh tourism, now sits silent. The gates are closed and an era has come to an end, filled with actually some really interesting bits. But what exactly happened to Wales' biggest theme park? Let's find out. I feel like that would be a good presentation, but it sounds goofy in actual fact. Oakwood theme park first opened in 1987 as a small family-run park with little more than a toboggan ride and some fairground rides. But it wasn't actually long before Oakwood transformed itself into one of the UK's biggest players. In 1996, it opened Megafobia. Now this is what everybody recognises when they think of Oakwood, isn't it? In fact, I wouldn't even know that Oakwood existed if it wasn't for that, and also my slightly strange addiction to Gerstlauer roller coasters, but we'll move on to that. But yes, Megafobia. Megafobia, actually something that the rest of the UK theme park industry seemed to completely ignore as being such an important roller coaster, not only for guests but also the theme park community, as we wouldn't get another wooden roller coaster of such nature until Wicker Man, which is much later. But it was a world-class wooden roller coaster actually, and that's why it's become so recognisable today. The roller coaster put Oakwood theme park on the map. Also, every time I say Oakwood theme park, please take a shot. Wrong one. Don't question it. It was designed by the legendary Custom Coasters International. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, Oakwood grew rapidly, introducing Speed No Limits, which is the UK's first Eurofighter roller coaster. I absolutely love Eurofighters. I am gutted that I did not get to go on Speed. It looks like a classic Eurofighter, which it very much is. But please tell me in the comments, what's your favourite type of roller coaster? It seems to be that Mack coasters are the most popular thing at the moment. I've not managed to really jump on that train. Pardon the pun. No, I've not managed to jump on the hype train for Mack. I think they make some very, very technologically advanced roller coasters, but there's something about riding a Gerstlauer that just always seems to heighten my adrenaline. We was talking about Oakwood actually. Oh yeah, Oakwood Gerstlauer, that's right. And then also Hydro, which is later named Drenched, which we'll talk about in just a second. Of course, delivered one of the biggest splashes in Europe. The park definitely had charm, thrills and ambition, but behind the scenes the cracks were slowly forming. Unfortunately, someone did lose their lives on this ride and the park was fined a serious amount of money, as you can well imagine. To get past this accident, which by the way happened because the restraints weren't properly checked. But to get past this accident, they rebranded the ride to Drenched. Of course, just like the accident at Alton Towers though, this did leave a pretty bad mark on the park. The first signs of trouble for the park came in 2008 when the park was sold to Astro Parks, which is a Spanish-based company specialising in water parks and aquariums rather than roller coasters. Investment slowed, rides began to look tired, and new additions just failed to match ambitions of the past. Major attractions like Drenched and Bounce were closed entirely, which obviously led to visitor numbers dipping with no major investment happening at the park. By the 2020s, Oakwood had pretty much lost all of its magic. Megafobia was still obviously a fan favourite, but the rest of the park left little to be desired, and that's why people just didn't talk about it. So maintenance issues, staff shortages only made things worse. And in 2023, rumours began swirling that Oakwood was in financial trouble. And don't get me wrong, the UK government and tourism tax and wages going up is definitely not helping parks like this. They've never really been on the side that Merlin are in terms of financial estate. But at the same time, we've got to start asking these questions about parks like Merlin as well, because it looks like they're suffering with the same problems. Maybe they're making the right decisions now to stop this kind of a thing from happening in the future. However, before we wrap up, I'd still like to go through some interesting facts that I'd found out online about Oakwood, just to try and bring some positivity. So Megaphobia was actually ranked as one of the best wooden coasters in the world, not just the UK and not just Europe, in its formative early years. And that Hydro/Drenched was the tallest water ride in the UK. And when Speed No Limits opened, it was one of the first coasters to have a beyond 90-degree vertical drop, which was actually a 97-degree, which was a huge thing at the time. As a young enthusiast, I remember even how cool that was. I can see just in the community how much people adore Oakwood theme park. It lives on in a lot of people's hearts, and my deepest condolences to the staff that used to work there, that have spent their lives there, the families and children that has a special place in their hearts. And I can only imagine how tough it is to know that you can't go back to that place which holds those memories. It is such a shame for all of those people, and hopefully there's a bright future for the park, and some other company decides to invest in it, because maybe this is what it needed, was that exposure. Maybe people just weren't visiting, so with the right investment, who knows what could happen. Well, I'll tell you what I did, folks. You can thank me later. I decided to take it upon myself to sell Megaphobia. Cue those titles. So I decided I would take it upon myself during these tough times to try and raise some money for Oakwood theme park. And what better way to do that than to sell its most beloved roller coaster to the community and the world alike? And what better place than Facebook Marketplace? So I popped my ad on Facebook, popped some pictures of Megaphobia that literally took me about 30 seconds to find. Listed it, the people rolled in. Brandon, what did Brandon say to us? Brandon said, "Hi there, pal. Seriously interested. Biggest concern is it looking out of place in my garden, to be honest." Fair enough. "Could you include the lake and boats as well to sweeten the deal?" To be fair, right, Brandon, if you're watching this, very reasonable. I said, "You, sir, drive a hard bargain. The trouble is getting the swans out of the lake before we box it up. Suppose it could be done for an extra 10k. Again, this is all going to be invested back into the theme park, right?" "Extra 10k, says Brandon. "I understand you're trying to reclaim your money, but your pond does butter no parsnips, sir. I suppose you'd be wanting extra on top for delivery?" "You're right, Brandon. Could at least offer to provide the bridge going over the lake so I can actually make use of the roller coaster." "Okay, we could possibly come to..." So I said, "Okay, we could possibly come to some sort of arrangement here. Would you like to arrange a date to check out the condition? Also, I'm really sorry, but it's collection only. In regards to the lake, I do have a few buckets I can chuck in to lend you a hand." I'm trying to be helpful. To be honest, I was planning on installing it from home to work. How reliable is it? I don't want to purchase it and have to call AA 3/4 across the lake and to be late to my shift at McDonald's. Been looking for a status vehicle to arrive in to work in, and I personally think arriving by tracking carriage is better than my silly friend's Porsche GT3 RS. Collection only, you say? I suppose I could make that work if you have an appropriate space to land my Boeing 747. And on arrival to view, do I need to pay the entry fee? I understand times are hard. Thank you, Brendan. That's what we're trying. That's the point, right? There's a lot to unpack here, to be honest with you. Especially when I was just sitting at home after work and I received this message. First of all, I was immediately thinking, where the fuck are we going to land a Boeing 747? But we can accommodate it for an extra price. So my reply was, I appreciate you thinking of us, and yes, we would expect a small entry fee of £3.25. We can accommodate the landing of the plane, but this will come at a special parking charge of £37,000. Reasonable, let's be honest. And must be an electric jet due to local wildlife concerns, because we do think about the wildlife. We're in Wales after all. We need the coaster out within half a working day. Brandon, I think you're making an exceptional choice, and I think this ride will help people understand just how important you are. And the upside, you should never be late for your shift unless the operations are poor. Luckily, this isn't being ran by Portaventura. We must tell you at this stage that we are not liable for any damage that the track takes during the move, and any nuts and bolts will be kept. Don't worry about that though. Very important that they can't. I mean, the track and the wood, it's for them. The bolts and the nuts, we've got to repurpose those, let's be honest. Brandon didn't unfortunately reply to my message after that, so we didn't make a sale there, but maybe I was driving too much of a hard bargain without the bolts and the nuts. I don't know, but hey, there's more people out there, so do not fear. So Jane popped into my inbox. How much is delivery? And she offered me £1. £1. Sorry, Megaphobia fans. So of course I declined Jane's offer. It's collection only, but will provide the tools. So now I've piqued her interest. What tools does it come with? An Allen key set. So no flathead screwdriver? Sorry. I can lend you one. Yes, please. We're thinking of buying it for the grandkids. Jane, that is so lovely of you. Aww. I hope these are the grandkids that you actually bought to Oakwood theme park once, and you want to repurpose this beloved ride in your back garden. Honestly, now I'm thinking that the £1, maybe we could make it work at this point. But suppose I can throw in the flathead screwdriver then. She said, do I need planning permission? Thinking of sending it through the neighbours' gardens too. Jane, what you do with the roller coaster does not concern me once it is sold, and I am not any Welsh. I'm assuming she's from Wales. I'm not in a Welsh council, so I've got no fucking clue. So I said, not my area of expertise. I reckon it'll be fine though. And I've got some camo paint that I can chuck in for an extra 10. And now come on guys, this is what I'm talking about. We've got to make those extra bits of money so we can invest in a brand new RMC or something, right? Oh yes, please, do I get some nice ride operators too? We don't have any money to even run the park, so where are we going to get to ride operators from? I've got a couple of swans though, I do say, because if we remember, Brandon wanted the lake, so I thought maybe he doesn't want to buy the roller coaster, but if I get rid of the swans, then that solves that problem. I can sell him the lake. He might still be interested in. And I said, well, I mean, you offered me £1, and as it is, I've got another party interested. Jane says, £1 goes a long way. Now, I don't know where Jane lives, but she's out of her mind. £1 goes a long way. You can't even get a flipping Freddo for £1 anymore, guys. It's absolutely outrageous. Can't even get a can of Coke for £1. Unreal. So I said, Jane, if £1 went such a long way, we would not be in this mess. The cheek of Jane comes back, the return of Jane's cheek. Interested in buying or not? We could potentially come to some sort of bundle deal. I thought maybe she would be happy to spend a little bit more than £1 if we throw in another ride. They're sitting around doing nothing anyway. She said, yes please, a bundle deal. I would like the bridge over the lake too, please. Oh dear. How am I going to sell Brandon the lake if she wants the bridge over the lake? I kind of feel like Brandon would expect the bridge to come with the lake, and I've already asked this woman to take the swans because I thought that she could take the swans and Brandon could have the lake, and that was getting complicated, and I wish I'd never got into sales. Anyway, I said, sorry, someone's already taken it, with a bit of sweat on my head. She said, and I said, can do you Tinkerbell, because After my 5 minutes of research of Oakwood theme park, I found out that they have which confuses me because I thought Disney would have been all over them. They must have some weird shit going on, some Welsh laws. But yes, they do have a Tinkerbell ride, a Neverland area. So she said, Neverland, then yes please. And I put, okay, 40 grand. Because frankly, I didn't want to be doing this with the time that I had left after work. I wanted to be playing video games or watching Louis Poo videos, you know? So let's move on to the next person. This one's very short actually, so Thomas got in touch and Thomas said, is there a video? There's many videos. So I did tell him exactly that. I sent him a POV YouTube link and I put plenty on YouTube. He responds, is it fast? Frankly, I've got no idea what the top speed of Megafobia is, but I said, quite frankly, not at the moment. Louise, you know,
Megafobia.
Louis Poo. She made me an offer. She said, hey, are you the owner? I said, hi, yes please, no time wasting, because by this point I'd been dealing with this for frankly too long. People messing me about. She said, invite me to a press event at any park and I'll pick it up for twice the asking price. Now with my own van. I have 400 subs and 0.5% of them are loyal. Ambitious young lady, Louise, very ambitious. However, what she fails to realise is that this cheapskate way of trying to enter our theme park is a primary cause of of our closing, of our financial troubles. So I was insulted by this, frankly. Frankly is my new favourite word today, apparently. But yes, I was insulted. I wasn't having it. So I replied, actually, that does ring a bell. We have here exact data to determine you as the cause of our abrupt closing. Trying to cheapskate away into our lovely park. Now look what you've done. My kids are crying. Oops. Tell you what, calm myself down a little bit. I came back, readjusted my shirt, my tie, I came back. Since Louise is such a great content creator and I would like to be a friend of her channel, I reconsidered a little bit. I said, if you can, I'll tell you what, we can see past it if you create a short promoting our favourite YouTuber, James Smiles. Anyway, she said absolutely not, good luck finding a buyer. Piece of rattly garbage, to be honest. Now you should go and boycott Louise for saying that about Megaphobia, okay? She called it a piece of rattling garbage. Just want you to remember that. This person, this face.
I won't miss it because I've never been. Honestly, I wouldn't have made the trek to Wales for it, and I wouldn't now. So it doesn't matter what you tell me about Megaphobia. To me, it's a rusty old thing I'm going to get at Blackpool.
A piece of rattling garbage. Megaphobia, Louis Poo, 2025. Right after it closed as well, no respect. I put two sad faces and I put, what if we throw in speed? And not that kind.
I am Speed. One winner.
Our Gerstlauer Eurofighter, first in the UK. Ooh, could sweeten the deal. Louise thought it was Intamin. Fake seller. Let me tell you, right? Louise genuinely did think that it was an Intamin roller coaster, but she thought I've only just learned this recently, but she thought a lot of roller coasters are Intamins for some reason, and that's when I came to realise that she has no real knowledge of roller coaster manufacturers, or she's doing a bit on me, and I can't tell. But I want you to know that this woman making theme park content is an industry plant and doesn't actually know a single thing about roller coaster manufacturers. Everything's an Intamin to this lady. I said fake park tuber, and she said, I'm going to try and get this audio to play through my monitor and you'll be able to hear it, but we'll see.
That's a bit personal now. I'm not joining in for your video anymore.
And then she said, prepare to get cancelled, and sent another voice note.
Honestly, if we couldn't get Theme Park Worldwide cancelled for being a rich raw pack of paedophiles, you've not got a chance, James.
I've no idea what she's talking about. Anyway, I finished off by saying, James, question mark, I am actually Megaphobia's mum, Mummyphobia, and I just want my son to have a good life, a safe and loving one. Thanks for nothing. So yes, no sale there, guys. We move on, we continue, we must sell this terrible, this rattly piece of garbage. Adam piped up, hey mate, is this still available? Still available, had quite a few offers though mate, already had someone offer me a Merlin annual pass on top of the asking price. And they said, oh, what about a McDonald's, would that do? And I said, a Stormzy meal deal might swing it. Sound, when can I pick it up? That was the conversation over with. To be honest, that one wasn't very interesting. I think I couldn't really be bothered to reply to this person in another way. But I've got to say, I mean, a Stormzy meal deal. Have you guys seen that? Like this is a theme park channel. We don't need to talk about McDonald's, but that is capitalism at its finest. Susie messaged me, and Susie said, "What's the postage on this, please?" I said, "Sorry, it's collection only." Would you believe it? A serious buyer, then you are seriously barking up the wrong tree. And she said, well, I was hoping to branch out with my roller coaster collection, but I guess I'll have to leave it. I don't know why I'm so awkward in this video today. The thing is, it's because I wasn't going to make this video, and now I'm making it. I guess we're doing it anyway now, so let's just finish it, shall we? Bloody hell. Anyway, Josephine says, is it still available? I haven't messaged this person back, and somebody else just offered me £10 as well, and I haven't messaged that person back. So what I would like to do now is just to test whether there is an actual audience retention to be heard of. I'm gonna leave these two, and if you guys comment down below what you would like me to send as a response to this, I will send that to them. We haven't sold Megaphobia yet. Hopefully we will soon. Hopefully we can bring Oakwood back up to its glory days by selling this roller coaster. We will have to replace it with something else, but oh well, it's a rattly piece of garbage. That's it. That's all I've got to say on Oakwood Theme Park. Thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you've had a great time. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for vibing. Sigma.